saved my life, and so to speak, because you gave me comforting things when I needed it. Love, I never would have understood how a woman's love felt if I hadn't experienced that with my grandmother, my auntie. So, yeah, those are the people in my life early on. So,
I would like to just add to that. So reading the Truth and Change, so yeah, thank you, Truth and Change book, one of the things you mentioned was the role that your aunties and grandmother played in your life. Can you talk about the role that the Black woman played early on and now in your life?
So I've always came to the understanding that me and my wife had this conversation all the time. The Black woman is as close to God as you would get in the physical. That's how I feel. The reason being is because if you're a man, if you're a male, in any sense of the word, you always have to have a feminine principle in your life.
Say that one more time for people in the back.
If you're a man or a male or boy, you always have to have a feminine principle. And that means it can be your sister. If she's the closest woman to you and she cares about you in a way that nobody else does, that's your feminine principle at that time.
Absolutely.
And then it can shift. At the time, my daughter was my feminine principle.
Yes.
Because you give me enough responsibility as a man to know that now my job is to protect you from any and all things, not just physical. I think we as men, we get that mixed up. I'm a protector because you're a fighter. You have to protect your mind. You have to protect your spirit. Like me and my friend, this is one of my brothers, we talk about man things. Like who are you listening to in your household on Sunday mornings or Saturdays with the ministry? And if I don't agree with it, I ain't gonna say, man, you can't. I'll just say, hey, man, you might want to, or boo, boo, boo. He'd be like, well, no, this is why. And because that's a conscious decision that we both have to have as fathers and leaders of households. Who are we following? What are we allowing it? How are we protecting our children from this world that we're growing up in? So, yes, sir.
Absolutely. And then just to piggyback off that, so we went to dinner last night, y'all. So it was a wonderful thing because we got to see, because what I think was funny when you see people in media, you see people in newspapers, right? And some of the things that you've been through is documented, right? And so you don't get to see the human side, right? With the kids, with the wife, right? Absolutely. Kids running around, so we got to see him in his family element, which was cool to see. And then one of the things you mentioned, which I want you to expound upon, was the role the man plays with his family dynamic. What makes him a real man?
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about that?
One thing I'll say with what you said at first is a lot of things that people show, they show like maybe 5% of who they really are. They show their good moments. They show their best moments.
Yes.
The reason I'm Mr. Bam, 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 Bam is because I'm going to show you all of it. And I've been criticized for that. You're too transparent.
Yeah.
That's what's needed. So with my family dynamic, we are what you really get. And I like people to see me and my wife's interaction because you will see that this relationship is really genuine. It's not like one of them stupid, the other one ain't. No, right. You know how it be in relationships. You can always be like, oh, okay, it's you. We don't have that in this relationship. So the dynamic, and I told her early on when I first met her, I'm auditioning you to be my feminine principal. That's a lot. Cause I got a little envelope, and she probably gonna laugh when she hear this. But I got an envelope, and it's called my envelope. It's my orphan envelope. In my orphan envelope, there's my birth certificate, my social security card, and whatever important documents go with me at that time. Whether I get a little bit of stamps or whatever it is that come with me, here's my envelope. When I leave my grandmother's house, when I'm 13, 14, I don't take the envelope. I go out in the streets, I leave it, I end up getting shot. I go back when I leave that time, because now I'm into the streets for real. I'm not laying at grandma's house on the nose. I take the envelope. And an envelope has passed from feminine principle to feminine. Once I trust you and you her, I'll let you hold on. We don't have to be in a relate like boyfriend and girlfriend. You can be my female friend to the degree where I know that you care about me in a degree. You got my envelope. So my wife was my feminine principle. I auditioned her to be that, and then she ended up that. So I like people to see the real relationship that we have, the humanness of it. And then the fast forward on, like I was saying, they show you real small glimpses of their life, and they want you to clap for it. And when you don't, oh, you a hater. You didn't. I know you in real life. Your lights are not on, or your baby daddy beats you up, and you keep taking him back. Like, so I'm not going to applaud your one good parent moment when you took your kid and took your teeth on his birth. I don't even want to see it. So with us, we tend to not show as much, because a lot of people think it's bragging, or they think you stunt
flexing. Yes.
But me, if you just pay attention, this has consistently been me the whole time. And the reason I want to show you What I show you, I used to have big cars, and big houses, and big rims, and big dogs, and all the best stuff you can imagine, but you never saw it. You always saw me in my element that I need you to see me in as a positive black man, a father, a role model. Like I like that role. I want that. So just piggybacking off of that, I'm glad that you was able to see us in our element, and I trusted you enough to expose you to that element. So
absolutely,
yes,
absolutely.
I would say that being there was exciting because I got to see you with your wife, and you both are very personable. And as you guys talked about it earlier, when you have something that's documented on paper, it doesn't show the true characteristics of a person. It only shows you about what has happened in the media or what has happened with law enforcement. It doesn't show you as a person. So a person who has integrity, who loves their family, who loves their children, and who loves their wife. So I think that's really important for our culture to see a man in a man's role and to see how he loves his children and loves his family, because that's not always shown in the in society or in the black household.
Absolutely. So, I think he asked, it was all you said, a man's role. What
yes,
does that look like?
Yeah,
he was ready to come back to it.
Yeah.
Me and him talked about this, the brother, and when you become a family man, it changes the whole dynamic of your life. People say that I had kids, so I had to grow up. Nah, that wasn't nothing, because that lady who was taking care of them kids had kids. You just was supporting financially, and you might be pulling up. But when you look up and you become what they call the IRS, call it to you, the taxes, head of household, that comes with so much responsibility. I'm not only responsible for making sure that we got food, clothing, and shelter, but I'm also responsible for making sure that mental health in this house is right, that we are on the right pages and tracks of learning. I'm responsible for making sure that we serving the right God, because there's so many different things that they could pollute you and they could come into your household and family. So when you become a real family man, when you live with your children and your wife 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're the breadwinner and responsible, every decision that you make from the time you step out the house to the time you make it back in, it revolves around that. If the police get behind me when I was back in the streets, I'll hit the I'm out of here. We on high speed, jump out, throw the pistol, meet you back in the hood, because I don't have nothing really to be responsible for it too. Now when I leave my house, I make sure, like you said, OG got an extra situation. I'm patting myself down just to make sure like I don't have no situations at all, because this is what I'm responsible for. I don't want to never wake up and have to call my woman from jail saying, hey, I was at the club with Bill and them, and OG got in a fight, and I just had to swing because I'm with the gang. No, I'm not. I'm with them, period. Anything that slows that down or gets in the way of that, and I'll add this to that, and I'll let that go. It is the most peaceful experience you can ever have. But you've seen it for yourself. I got a little Tasmanian person. I don't say Tasmanian devil, but I say I have a Tasmanian person. She works my nerve. My son works my nerve. My daughter, my wife, we work each other's nerve, but I'm so at peace. When you wake up in the morning, I promise you, here in the state of Florida, shout out to where we at, man. We in Big Tampa, we on location.
Yes.
Here in the state of Florida, when you wake, they got exotic birds. I'm gonna use this because we Indiana people.
Yes.
We got certain kind of birds. You see a red robin, you're like, I saw a red robin today.
Right.
You see a blue jay, you really had a good day.
Yeah.
Here you wake up, it's like these tall white birds with these long orange beaks in your backyard singing church songs. In the morning, you're like, bro, what kind of listen? That's why he's singing that. These birds sing to you in the mornings. It's like so many of them. It's like when you wake up and that sun beaming through your window and the birds are chirping. If you had a bad night, you would not be having a bad day. You would not. So I'm just blessed and thankful and grateful. And this is my brother, man. He off camera, man. But me and him met in the box, in the penitentiary. And we was same but different. And when we found our similarities, they were so same that I told him, if you who you say you are, I'm gonna come. When I come home, I'm gonna go home to my town for 5 years, and I'm gonna get my business out the way, and I'm gonna move back down here with you, bro. Cause I love what I see right here. I was in the penitentiary in this state. See, that's how this came about. People think this was just a spur of the moment decision. I think me and him talked about this in like 2014, 2013. I'm coming back 5 years. So I was supposed to be here about 2019, but I was late. So I'm here now.
So again, I would like to emphasize too, because we did the intro, we started late because of some technicalities. So Absolutely. This is Shane Shephard. In the intro, we want to use these, because descriptive words, right? And so husband, father, because this is Black men, right? We want to change that narrative, especially with the ones that had to be locked down for a little bit. Husband, father, author, activist, founder of Before You Fall, for those who want to be accountable, former felon convict, he just talked about that.
Former felon convict.
More, right? And it wasn't like no 5, no, it was 10 plus.
Yeah, no, 12.
12.
But matter of fact, let me be specific. 11 years, 11 months, and 27 days. Federal.
Federal, yes.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah,
different, yes.
All right, absolutely.
But then mentor and then minister.
Absolutely. Say that one last one.
Minister.
Absolutely. With the permission of God. See, I didn't go to theology school. I didn't go there and say, hey, can I get your type of theology? Can I go in your place and can I teach it? And can I call myself this? And if I do good, will you raise me up next year? And da. No. I went straight to the Most High and said, hey, it's people in cracks and alleys that they don't get your word. Can you give me permission to be there with them? I'm cool with staying with the lowlies. I don't want the mega. I don't even want the church, but I'm saying I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy to pull up on you with when you're at your lowest and give you some hope. So when you say minister, I want you to know I'm not trying to steal nobody's congregation. You can keep Miss Ethel in there. Miss Ethel in them is surely yours. I'm looking for them people that you're not looking for.
So do you believe, I know oftentimes you hear people say some people were called to preach.
Absolutely.
And some people are just preaching.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your take on that?
So when I was young, my great grandma, she gave me to God, and I do it with my children. If you follow me for a long time, you can go check each one of my children's birth. 7 days, I take them outside, I hold them up to the yard naked. I hold them up and I let them see the sky. And I tell them, behold, the only thing greater than yourself, you can't even describe it. The creator of all things. And don't never listen to me. If I'm going to guide you wrong, run from me. Follow God. He's in you. Learn about it in the way in the physical, but he's in you. So my take on that is I always, and my father, my last name is Shephard, not Sheppard, not Shepard. And it was spelled like that at one time during slavery, but when I got up north, and my family got it, it's Shephed, sheep herder, leader of the flock. Me, I understand who I am and what tribe I come from. When I put those two things together, genetically, physically, through research, I'm like, bro, it's in you. You can run all you want and hide. See, a person who God puts a word in, you afraid to say it because it's not going to sound right coming from me. When I tell you that you need to surrender and repent and give your life to God, that don't sound as good coming from me as it would from somebody. So I'm scared to say that because you're going to look at me and say, nigga, who is you to tell me to do that? You ain't perfect. My stripes. So I wear them on my sleeve. So again, when you called to do something, a lot of times you're going to run. Where was Jonah at? Where he end up at? He didn't end up on the mountaintop saying, hey, I'm Big Jonah. He ended up in the belly because I don't even want to go down there and talk to them folks because they stiff-necked. They hard-headed. Same with me. I talk to the people in the community all day long. They synced it. You felt it. You heard it. You investigated it. It proved true. But you still don't want to listen. So now I'm not nobody's prophet, but I understand Noah. If you tell me that somebody's building a big ark in the middle of the desert, God told just you to tell us what to do, I probably have laughed at Noah too. But when that rain started and God shut that boat up, because if you read the scripture, say Noah didn't shut the door too big, but say God shut the door up. So once he sealed it up, nobody else can get in there. I think that's what's happening now with a lot of us, and not just me. It's a lot of people that's coming up out the dirt saying, hey, God got some words for you. You might not think I'm the vessel, the one that you should drink out of this cup a little beat up, got a little rust on it, but this might be the cup, and this might be the only cup that you get to sit from, because I could very well be your last warning, hence the title of my organization. Before you fall, you get your hand and say, hey, da, da, da. So I think a lot of people, when they go to school to be a preacher, it's like you went to school to be an accountant. It's a job.
Yes.
You're going to do whatever necessary that every time something changes, you keep up with the latest accounting codes. If not, you behind. The same with the preachers. Whatever the current gospel is, whatever the current message is, whatever feels comfortable to get you to come back next week, that's what they'll say and do. If you come in a place where I'm speaking at, and I'm not saying preaching, speaking at all, if you're not right, something I say should convict your spirit, and you should want to come up to me at the end and say, bro, you touch me with that. It happens to me everywhere I go. I go in the church and sit and listen to this dude like, bro, he's been telling us that hell is real every week, boy. You done told me, whew, man, I see your lack out there. You know what I'm saying? I see you progressing and growing, but I don't see that feed in my spirit. The only thing that can grow is what's fed. And not only it got to be fed, it also got to be watered. The food can come from him, but the water come from experience. you ain't feeding me, so I can't grow. So I'm gonna be here like every week, still waiting on some food, and that's the game. That's the trick. If I minister to you long enough, just like Jesus did, by the time he got to a certain point, the disciples asking him stupid questions. He started almost getting answering, and he was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like, what God look like? So you mean to tell me I've been with you all this time? So it's to come to a point where now, disciple, you ready to go forth and take my word to the next level and get you 12. And get you 12. And that's how it should be, as opposed to me holding you hostage. My grandma and your grandma probably been in the same church since they was born, like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Now you over in a different section. You in the mother section now with the big hat. And I ain't knocking grandma, now, but I'm saying, at what point do I outgrow this space and say, hey, I got to take this to the field? So that's a deep question. I like it, and it's a passionate question that
Thank you. I appreciate that. So would you say that you are walking in purpose?
Absolutely. And it took a long time. Oh, man. And I read this before, and I tested
How long, though?
I'm 45 till I was 44.
Wow.
See, a lot of the other stuff was practice. And I ain't even got started. This ain't even a game yet. I'm just warming up because now I know what I need to do. I got to be back in my scriptures. I got to be back on my business. I got to be back on my stock market. I got to be on my stuff so hard for these next 5 years, because when I'm 49, I'm kicking my feet up. See, I ain't here for nothing. I told him, like, I ain't even begun to enjoy this beautiful stuff. I fish on the ocean. I do all that little stuff, but man, it's people down here at home. You can ride down the street and look to your right. It's a yacht, and them people on there and they ain't even, it's Monday.
Yeah.
Evening.
Right.
And they friendly.
Right.
Hey, I'm like, man, but I can't play yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because I ain't got it to be having that much leisure.
Yeah.
But I know now, when I found what my purpose is, and you ain't gonna believe what it is. Guess what my purpose is? Fatherhood in real life. Because that's what makes me a role model. See, when you're a father in your house, and my wife get to watch me, and you know if I'm faking or not, and you know if you're really real, man, and my daughters get to see it. And sometimes my daughter walk up to me and say, okay, Pops, I see she 10. I see you looking saucy. Boy, I don't need nobody outside to say nothing to me to make me feel special. So now when I go out there into the world, when you see me, I'm a reflection of what just happened in my household. Or me, I work in the industry where I do a lot of traveling. I move around a lot. Like, I probably travel more than a lot of people. So when I do come back into my house, it's never a question of what's going to happen. When they hear that key in that door, everybody but the littlest one you see is ready to get up. My wife gonna move the slowest because girls are running her over. They breaking their neck to get to me, to give me a hug, hold me. So that's the beginning of everything. I mean, that's my purpose, to be that guy. And when you be that guy, like I use in a lot of my stuff, I'm not the exception. I'm the example. I'm the one that you would beat real bad, throw him in the tar and let him hop out and throw some. I'm him. I'm not the guy that you want to see it. So I'm the example. So when you know you the example and you know that this is what God intended you to be, don't hide from it. Admit that you've been incarcerated. Admit that you've been on drugs. Admit that you've been a violent person. Admit all that stuff, so can't nobody ever come and say, oh, no, Minister Shephard, you used to be. I'm going to say, and that's why I'm here talking to you now.
Right.
So
a follow-up question for you. I heard you say that you enjoy. You were 44. You're 45 now, but you were 44 when you knew what your purpose was. One of the Bible scriptures that I really enjoy is that you may endure weeping for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And oftentimes when we hear that scripture, we believe that, okay, I'm going to cry tonight and my joy will be in the morning. But however, your joy could be 6 months from now. It's you going through this phase of life, getting you to where you actually need to be. So in your case, you're saying that it had, 44 years going through all of these different changes, and then at 45, you the light popped on. Was that your moment of awakening?
Well, I have a great mentor, man. Shout out to Ron Robinson of LCP Transportation, man. The guy is a very successful businessman, but he's the best father I know. He got 4 daughters. All of them go to Division I colleges in the United States of America. Ohio State, University of Cincinnati. He probably don't beat me up, or not remember the other two. 2 of them went to one school, but all of them go to elite level schools. Every one of them graduated with the major that they chose, and they have elite level careers. Lawyer, one is she catches air, turns it into something, and actually be able to say, like, this is a level of science. So when I say how I discovered my purpose was, I got a hold to a mentor 5 or 6 years ago on accident. That means this is a man, a person who's being what I desire to be. He was already fully that. And so for me to be able to watch him and discover, like, dang, listen to the joy The man opened up a company on the stock market on NASDAQ and took a screenshot, sent me a picture, tear coming down my eye because I'm just proud to not only know you, but I know who you are as a person. A lot of people with your type of power, wealth, they turn into some bougie, weird people. He's not. And so that's how I discovered my purpose because I seen it in another man. And that's what it was. I want to be like him. So when I discovered that the best joy was getting successful, becoming wealthy, becoming financially stable, so I can raise beautiful children to become the fruit of my body can become some of the best product in society, and there's nothing greater than that type of legacy. So that's my new purpose.
Well, thank you. Just want to go back for a little bit. I know you said that your paternal grandmother was raising you. Can you tell me if there were financial resources available to you when you were in the home with her, and then what other things was available to you before you ended up going in a different direction as far as like being in the community and, you know, having people that you looked up to? I know you said there were some small business owners that you looked up to, and also there were some gangsters in the community that were kind of like your mentors. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
So there were no financial, I'm gonna have to remember where I'm at. Let me give a big introduction.
Welcome. Thank you.
This is the wife,
Chair goes up.
the queen, the matriarch of the house, the Shephard clan, right? And so I'd just like for you to introduce yourself.
Okay, well, hello, my name is Ryan, formerly known as Ryan G. That's my last name. It started with a G. But I am Ryan Shephard, so I'm Shane's wife. We have children together. You guys met some of them. We have more all over the place, but we're all in tune. You know, we are a blended family. So I like to advocate that because it's different. So we are a family, but we are a blended family. And I think that's important, especially in this day and age in 2024, because it's not like everybody has same siblings, same age, but it works. It works for us. So we're really blessed. I don't know what else.
Well, thank you. I just want to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about having an extended family? What does that look like?
Okay. So I would say it's stages. Okay, so that's what I say. And I will say for myself, okay, I'll start at the beginning. I come from a single parent home, but I come from having a great relationship with my father. So my parents were married, but they divorced really early. So my relationship stayed with my father. I lived in the home with my mom, and it's 3 girls. We all the same parents. So as I came up and then I dated, I really didn't date anyone who had children until I dated. First person I dated that had children is actually my oldest daughter's father. So she is his 6th child. So I already started, like, when I jumped in heavy, but I didn't know. So I go from not talking to anybody with children to somebody who has multiple children, but as with the relationship, when I was in the relationship, as it comes along, I'm finding out more about the children. And then as that goes on, it goes into, okay, I have a kid, and then I'm part of this little thing. So then after that, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Boom. Fast forward, I meet Shane. Shane has children. Shane was previously publicly in relationships. You get what I'm saying? So the thing was, when I came around, my thing is I'm the voice for the kids. So regardless of what everybody has to say, I'm gonna need children. What do y'all need? How can we be a family? How can we be a team? But not to the point where I'm like overly like, hey, I'm your stepmom. Come on, you gonna come do this? It just takes time for the kids to develop a relationship with you. So he had grown children, because I'm 10 years younger than Shane. He has grown children.
You smile.
He had grown children, and then he had a teenage son, and then I had an elementary aged girl. So it just took for us to, like, me know her wants, knowing the other children's wants, and then, okay, what does this look like? We figure it out. Boom. As time goes on, the 19-year-old now, one day he's like, I love you, Mama Ryan. I'm like, oh my God.
But just to help her, I got a 28-year-old, 27-year-old, a 19-year-old. These are already established people. That means she's like 7 or 8 years older than and when they met, my daughter is one of the people who she ain't giving nobody no play, no props. And this woman's only 5 foot tall. And she came into it in my life, and I cast a big shadow, a giant shadow. Came in and played her position so smooth and so well that not only do my children refer to her as Mama Ryan, not the grown people, but like Shane and all Mikhail and but all the boys in my center. These boys 6'2" and 6. This lady, this little Mama Ryan, so she plays a mean role in our lives. So I'm sorry.
Let me add too. I'm sorry, but for this type of person, personality-wise, it takes a special person, to be a companion, to help. You know what I mean? Because you, like you say, cast a big shadow, right? And so I always talk about my personal self with the things I, get involved in, for my helpmate or my spouse. That person has to be extra special because they got to understand, which I'm sure you do, all the daggers people are going through, all the stuff you're going to hear out. It's some stuff that happened, but you like, that's cool. This is what I love, though. I'm gonna be here. And I talked this to my wife a couple months ago, probably about a month ago, 2 months. She's my life partner, and so that's what I see here, especially seeing yesterday. That's cool because we don't usually see that all the time. We just see what they call entanglements. Right. We don't see, actually commitment. Right. When I saw yesterday, I'm very observant. And so I just, when because your family dynamic remind me of mine. 3 kids, mother, father, and then especially with the lady said Tasmanian person. Yeah. But and then like you was talking about when we was having a conversation about family, whatever you do, they see you.
Absolutely.
Every single day. There's no day off. There is no, I'm gonna sleep in. No, daddy. Yeah. So for, obviously for him to understand that, obviously, but then you being the helpmate and just, because some women would have a problem with that. But this seems, and not seems, I'm just saying, it looks like and it appears, which it is. This is not gonna unravel.
No.
So salute to y'all.
Thank you.
Salute to y'all.
So when I'm giving details to Sam in the beginning stages, it wasn't easy, but I just setting the platform for anybody to start and just saying, like, just let it authentically happen, because that's what I did. So saying that, like, it was hard. Like, at times we have a 5-year-old in his previous relationship at different times, so it's just like everybody trying to fit in with what works with us. And it's times where I just was like,
a lot of it came from sending shockwaves through my network. And when I say my network, that means my close family, my girlfriends, my baby mamas, people I'm sneaking around with, people who admire me that couldn't wait on their shot. Once I got in a real situation, it was like, all right, she gave me, you got a year. I said, don't take me that long because I already know what I want. Mm-hmm. Just give me, because obviously if you come into anybody's life, she gonna have a past, I'm gonna have a past. And if you meet somebody today, they say I'm single, that means you just don't go with nobody as far as formally. Right. You at least got 5 or 6 people that you right. So we both
I like the transparency.
But we both but we had that conversation. She know what she was dealing with. She was like, I'm watching you, bro. I can see your hand. You got all these women just falling down for you, and I don't want to be in the crowd. So that made me come from in the crowd and go, I'm not gonna say I don't like, I don't deal on the east side too tough. I ain't laying no pillows out on the east side of Indianapolis. I just ain't gonna do it. She laid on the east side, past Keystone.
I moved to the east side.
So she's a west side.
For my daughter to go to school, I'm the west side of it.
She drew me there, and I'm an observer. I want to see your environment. Mm-hmm. Let me see, while I'm here for 2 hours, how many times your phone ring, or how much are you in it, or you to social media. Mm-hmm. Then I go in your closet. Oh my goodness, I didn't see not one mannequin head. Mm-hmm. I didn't see one mannequin head. You go in a lot of these young women's closet, you got more wigs than my grandmother had.
I was still gonna say a mannequin head.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah,
I missed it when
I knew I was dealing with a woman. That's her real hair. It's natural. I'm watching certain stuff. I'm like, so I'm auditioning her, and I was cognizant and tell her, I'm looking to see this, or I'm looking to see that. Just that's why I'm acting the way I am. But that's what it was. But you asked me a question prior to her walking in about my grandmother.
Yes,
And
I did.
what was it?
She
Because
said
I
the
didn't.
finances, the
Right,
finances.
she didn't
Hold
have.
off on that real
Okay.
quickly. Just to follow up before I move back to Shane, I want to know, the world sees Shane as someone totally different. You guys are in the home together.
Absolutely.
Please tell us how you see Shane.
First,
how
ask
you
them,
view
how
him.
do the world see me? See, she got to stand on that statement because she's speaking for the world right now. So how do the world see me first? And then we going to clean up. Come on.
Which
Well, I was gonna make you. I have my questions.
Okay, I'll wait.
I know.
I'll wait.
I have my questions specifically for you, or how the world sees you. For me,
Okay.
it's the clean cabins.
No doubt.
It's
No
the clean
doubt.
cabins.
Yes.
So I want her to explain what she sees versus what everybody else, the stereotypes that you have heard and she has heard
I
about
can
you.
answer kind of in a way on both because I know the chatter of the
You're gonna hold off on that
Okay,
chatter.
so
Yes,
I'll just say
yes.
how I see.
Yes.
So
That's important.
I see Shane Shephard as when I first met him, I didn't know. I just knew his name was Shane. I didn't know all the other authors, Shockey. I didn't know that. I just went and I met him, and then I just thought that he was like a bold man. Like, you a manly man. You
Very
know?
confident.
Yeah, it's like your voice and your stamp. You're a manly man, right? So then after I see that, and then I watch even if other people you see that, it's like okay, and everybody kind of clinches, and then he says something, and you just bust out laughing. Not all the time, but just like that, his personality is just hilarious to me. I love to like laugh, so he's funny to me, right? But Shane is a great friend. So before anything, we was friends. Shane is a really good friend to me, and I say that in the dynamic of anything I go through in my family. Anything I go with friends, he give me great. My kid's father, he give me great advice. Like, is a great advisor. He's a great mentor. My husband, my friend, is my mentor. You get what I'm saying? He is my spiritual leader. But he knows so many things in the Bible. Like, I'm serious, and this is
Great page.
But I also am saying to get at the point where we are, just even like we always, I could say we've been like this, but we have hard conversations and we have uncomfortable with each other. Or how am I going to? I'm a woman, you a male, iron sharpens, or I'm an alpha female, you an alpha male. You get what I'm saying? You had your own thing, so now my family is like, who is this person? But I allow him to lead me. But that's a whole nother story. I had to surrender. I had to pray. I had to move over. I had to shut my mouth down, hold my mouth, hold my tongue. It takes a lot. But what I'm saying is we work on the things, and I work on the things. But Shane's like a great person to me. I would say he's a protector by nature, and he takes it serious. As far as anybody that's around in his circumference, he's a provider. He don't want nobody paid. Non-for-profit, like you don't even have the application fee, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He just wants to take the burden. I say he is a lover of the bottom. He has top shelf taste. His taste is top shelf, but he loves the bottom so much so. Sometimes I even have to be like, "Hey, bring it in. It's okay." They gonna get it. They gonna come on along. They don't want it sometime, or I have to have the moments. But he's a fighter. He's a warrior. He's a man of God. He's a father. He's a great father. He's a great father to our children, all of them. I see his relationship. I see what he does. The older ones, parenting older children is different from parenting teenagers. Different from parenting school age is different from parenting babies. You get what I'm saying? We have all the phases of it. So he juggles a lot. So I would just say all around, he's a great man. And he's somebody that I say that people need to see and seek after. As we like to talk a lot and tell people because they like, y'all missing it. Because like sometimes people you're missing it because it's a lot. And you so busy. Well, okay. Some people I only focus on because I knew this person. Like, how did you turn into that instead of just realizing what God is bringing forth to you. As far as the street dynamic of it, we'll get there. But to me, that's the person that Shane is. And I feel like when you're around, you see it and you know. But if you don't and you just hear, then it sounds so opposite.
Well, thank you for explaining.
That one always made me cry, man.
I wanted your take on it, just because, you know, the world may see someone different, but when you're in your home, that's who you actually get to see the uncut, the raw, the everything, and you know his true heart. So thank you. When I was asking about your grandmother, I was asking you were there financial resources available in the home for you, because you often say that you look to the business owners that were in your community, and also your mentors were gangsters that were in the neighborhood. So please explain.
So
what
my
that looked
grandmother
like.
never received food stamps or assistance, and I don't knock anybody who does, but I remember her hanging her hat on it. She worked at the VA, and she worked in the dietary department at, I want to say, Wishart. Yes, that's what it was. She retired from one, and then pivoted to another one, and then retired, worked at that one. So we didn't have a lot of money, but back then, you didn't know you was poor.
Absolutely.
You just didn't know, because you're not missing no meals.
Yes.
Your clothes getting washed out in the tub on the hands, and they, Granny had the clothesline out back. We played outside. We was never dirty. I don't have that part of my story to say like we just didn't have nothing. That's not until later on in the flick. As far as financial resources, my father, until I was 9, he was a great man. He worked at Coca-Cola. He drove the truck. He delivered the machines. Everybody liked him. He was my basketball coach, the whole shebang. He got married. I ended up in his wedding. I was inspired. His wife was a virgin that was never been touched. Went to church. I was with him when they was dating. Like, I'm at the park looking at her like, man, she's gorgeous, big dog. I'm on this show. I remember these things. And then he goes forward and he moves us from Washington Boulevard. Man, shout out to D. Ware over there where my original stomping ground. 20th and Washington Boulevard, he moves us over on Harding. So it's from the east side, the near east side, but if it's from the east to the west, it's the total difference. But the good thing about the east side is I learned how to fight before I left, because once I got over there, it was up and stuck. And my old man ended up getting introduced to crack cocaine early in his move. And, it takes like 3 years, and I can tell this kind of scientifically, it takes 3 years for crack to show up in the physical. And it takes about that long. You can start off, and by the time you really catch on, you really on that. Like that wasn't a phase, or because they gonna run and bounce. But by that third year, if you make it past your rookie and your sophomore season with the pipe, by the time you a vet, it's a wrap. And so I seen it in that third year. I'm like, dang, now I'm starting to believe it. But it started manifesting in the household. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see like, bro, I'll come home and the lights off. He got it. Man, I got to get my. I'm like, all right, you believe in it. And one thing I say about my father, up until the day he died, I believe everything he say, even if I know it's a lie. He had that much of an influence on me. He could sell me hope. Like, boy, the next move is the best move. That's why I stayed, because he asked me. Everybody left. His wife left. His people left at church. He was a speaker at the church. I'm not gonna say a preacher, but they was giving him his warm-ups. Get your Sunday night service. Let me see what you're gonna do. He was there. Yeah. And when he got on crack, everybody left him and started talking down on him and treating. I watched him. I'm like little dude throwing a rock in the corner, like, what you gonna do now, boss? You just smoked up everything. But he told me, man, please don't leave me, man. I'm gonna get it together. I was probably 12 at the time, 11. This is when I got a choice to go here or there, and I stayed. And I went through the lights out in the homes to the older dudes that's in the house. They sell dope out my house. So when I wake up and come from in the basement, it's the Alberts of the neighborhood and different guys, and I'm not painting them in bad, but this is what's going on. Yeah, true. When I come upstairs, I'm like, dang, that's Dewey. Is that a Mac 10? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, dang, there's no rules. So let me get a little piece of that work you got. I'm gonna go around here and see, can I sting it out? All right, little Yogi, go ahead. It's a joke. You think I can't? I'm his son. I'll come right back. So now it's like, I'm trying to be a hustler. I'm trying to sit. If y'all all in my house and people knocking on our door, and y'all, so when I got 13 or 14, I could protect it. Now I'm running y'all off my porch. Get out of my house. Stop selling my daddy dope. Now I got a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't protect me. One thing I said with my father, I've never seen him win a fight. Notice I didn't say get in one. I never seen him win one. He just wasn't a fighter. He would think that you're not going to fight me. I'd be like, bro, you just fell for that again. Like, you get clapped in front of your kid. How would you feel if somebody, you're not going for that?
Yeah.
If I'm not, if you didn't even whoop me, you're not whooping me in front of Zion. It's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
My father took the L in front of me multiple times. Multiple times. A guy in the neighborhood put a shotgun on his ear, on his shoulder, because my father got a crack habit. You lead him something that he can steal, he steal it. You put the gun on his ear and shoot it. Boom! You don't shoot him, but you make it. You blow his ear out.
Oh yeah.
And I'm standing right here. Then you talk to me after my daddy run off like, yeah, he shouldn't have stuff. Like, this is how y'all treated us. So you creating a savage. As soon as I get big, and I ain't gonna say his name on because as soon as I get big, I'm gonna get you for that. Now you done made me angry. I never had thoughts like that before. I never thought like I'm
Survival.
yeah, and protection.
Right.
That's why I'm such an over. That's what she. Because now, if you beat him up, I'm coming to holler at you. And I don't got no business bothering you. But fast forward, the people who was in the house selling the drugs, they my hood heroes. And then when I get outside, now that I can come out and go off, and I ain't got to shoot this beautiful left hand jumper I'm working with, I can go out and just meddle in the streets. I'm seeing, like I said, the hood heroes, dudes that's legends. See, a lot of people hear about these people, but I live in the belly where I can see you. And me, like I said, I'm an observer. So I want to know how you walk. I like your walk. I'm getting that. I like how you talk. I'm getting that. I like how your dope is always the best. You got good dope. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna cut my dope. So I'm learning all the worst things from the worst people. You know what I mean? When I start running my list down and she doesn't experience it, anybody in that town, even now, they know me. Even the younger dudes, when I say younger, the 40-year-olds, that's the gangsters, I'm your big homie's worst nightmare back in the day, or his best friend. So all of them know. And I learned from the greatest ones of the town, the Malcolms, the Skeeseys, the Ramones, the Lifes, you know what I mean? The West Side Hustlers. I watched Muncie, one of the best hustlers that ever come through the town. I watched this from a front row seat, and they would often say, since you 13 and 14 and you don't go to school, come in. So now I'm rolling the blunts up. Now I'm watching your Mackin up close. Big Thordy, shout out to him. Pretty boy, brown eyes, good hair, little Cadillac. Got your dope in the ashtray. You know, I'm sitting there like, oh. So all my age group in school. So when they get out the bus, I done got me a little remnants of a little weed from him. Got me a little 16th over here. Got my little 25. They jump off the bus. I'm like, what y'all doing? We going to school? Come here, let me show you this. What?
Yeah.
Man, boy, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't done. They don't even probably work. But I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? You know how it go. I'm out here. Then you pull up your little split. And I looked up, and this hurt me. I looked up in the 7th grade after about the 4th week of school. I didn't get no school clothes. I didn't get none of that. But I'm already meddling in the streets. So my daddy, you going to school, you trying to be a good father. You going, nigga, give me some shoes or something.
Right.
You don't get nothing. But my auntie straightens me out, make sure I got a little outfit to wear, blah, 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 go. About the 3rd or 4th week, my dirtiness is catching up. You know what I mean? I wasn't ever conscious of it. When I go home, ain't no water. I don't even go in the house when I get out the bus. You know, we get out the bus, we straight, boop, get your little gun out the bushes. It's back up. We back on the block. And then you wake up next day, you go to school. So you ain't washed up in probably 3-4 days and don't realize it, right? So I'm in school one day. Hands is dirty. You know, and then now that I'm in a clean environment, I can smell me. I'm like, you dirty kid, nigga.
Yeah.
You know, it dawned on me, like, you ain't cool.
Yeah.
So don't come in, because I'm a handsome dude. I'm a people person.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to catch on, like, why the bros ain't really digging me like they was first week or two. That was him. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not so him no more. And one of the females in my neighborhood, shout out to Kelly Radcliffe, bold, said something to me one day like, you need to just tighten up, bro. But she said it in a way that was like, you trying to be
I'm looking out
like,
for
bro, you that, but you just got to work on.
Tighten up.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, did she just tell me how to stink? So I did go back. I just stopped.
Do you believe that was a self-esteem killer in that moment?
No. She didn't kill my self-esteem. What she did was brought it to my recognition that I was lacking in the areas that I needed to be tightened up in. And I can't do that without a little bit of finances. So guess what? I ain't going to school. I'm going to go out here and say, let me get 8-ball. And I know what to do now, and I practiced all summer. I dribbled it a couple times. It went out of bounds on me, but now I got one. I know right what to do. I know right where to go. I know right where to be. And I did it, and I accomplished it. So, you know, if you hustle in the streets, you get stuck. But while I'm out here, then to go to the next part of her question, in my neighborhood, we had a man who owned the whole big apartment building store. He got the store here. You own all the units upstairs. They got the liquor store or the little bootleg on the. All this is yours. And you got a wife named Lena, and she's cold. She got a long like a curl. You got the curl. You wear a khaki dicky suit every day. You got everybody's jewelry on because you do the pawn shop.
Yeah.
You want to, you him in the neighborhood. So you call everybody Smurf. Smurf. You see it in my book. Smurf. Named Frenchie. You can go in there and say, man, I got $50, man, and I'm trying to go out here and do something. And I need to borrow 50 to put it with my 50. All right, Smurf, you owe me 75. You're like, this is a black Jew, and this is what we used to call this nigga's a Jew. That's the system that everybody hates. That's why now it makes sense for you. But that's what I used to say. But I watched like, bro, but guess what? He gonna give you what you need.
Yes.
You're gonna get what you need.
Yes.
And if you don't got what he got on the back end, he ain't ready to come fight you. That's just business. Now you can't go back to the loan. You can't come back.
Ever.
I bought you for that little $50. So
Yeah.
I learned business.
Yeah.
I learned everything from watching him from the sidelines. And I told everybody when I was young, you want to be him, you want to be him, you want to be him. I want to be Frenchie. Every house in our neighborhood, it was white with black trim. You know who owned it? Frenchie. Because he hit a lick on some black paint. Somebody done sold him a bunch of black paint for cheap. Cool. We painting up every house I got. That's how we discovered that he owned all these houses because the same painter was going from house to house to house to house to house to house. And I caught on. I'm like, this dude owned 14 houses just over here. Then when you go over to the next neighborhood where her father from, he the only dude in the house who got the lion heads on his driveway. He got all these big brick painted white, red trim. Like, this is who I want to be. So that mixture of influences. And my biggest influence became somebody in my life that I end up bumping into. And that's how it always happened. Let me say this to whatever young street man, the one that you admire the most, that you want to be like the most, if he's still on the stoop when you finally arrive, you either gonna have to knock him off or you're gonna have to submit to him. One of the two. And that's just how I go. I never wanted to bump in. I don't want to bump heads with a dude who I know would do that and this is who you are. I don't want to bump heads. But just like in the jungle, when the lion see you, when his young man get a certain size, he pushes him away on purpose because I know I'm gonna have to kill you. I see you. I've seen you since you was a cub. I remember when I trained you, you came back first day with an antelope. I know, oh, man, this is one of them, but you're mine. And I love you. But in our environment, they don't push you away, they whack you. If you too strong, if you're not submissive, if you're not wanting to be up under my arm, I'll send your best friend to get you. And that's who I became in the neighborhood. I'm not clicking up with you because you're strong. I'm strong.
So can you transfer that over, not just in street life, but also in our regular government and in the community? If they see that you are being something that is evolving into something great, then there's always someone that is close to you that they send to kind of move you out the way.
Well, even I don't even know if they send them. This is on the other side, because us as Black people, as people, poor people, colored people, however, melanated people, the brown ones, even the poor white ones. I mean, because this is a poverty mindset. This is a poverty mindset I'm speaking on. If you dare to be different, if you dare to be great, or even believe that you can be, like one of y'all said it last night, that was her and her mom and her, no, that was you and them on the phone talking about the women. If you dare to try to be something that I'm not, I had to analyze myself. Why don't I support you? Why don't I like you? Because inside of me, there's some inadequacies and this is what the word comes from. I'm a hater because you're being what I want to be. I admire it, but I can't figure out how to do it. So I dislike you. And the way I dislike you is I act like I don't see you, or I minimize you, or I try to make you feel normal when you're not. You know what we call them? And I run into them every day, and we got a code word for it. That's a bright. You're a bright. I know brights when I see brights. You know what I mean? Like a bright means I don't care what room you go in. Somebody gonna look and they're gonna get stuck for a while. And it ain't just your physical. It's not a physical. It comes from out of here. It's a spiritual thing. And when I meet them, I know right away. That's one. And a lot of times brights get put on the pedestal, and the Europeans turn them into what we call our pop stars and our famous people. Those are brights. That's all it is. So what if our brights got stuck in our community and was bright for and with us,
For our people.
like we trying to do.
Yep.
Because I made it out the neighborhood home. This is no joke. I transitioned with enough resources to move out of my town with autographed pictures, everybody lined up for roles to get in 2017. I could have already been gone already. And then when it really got good, I owned property. I sold my house in 3 days? Swear, I made $62,000. I put it up on a Thursday. By Sunday, it was sold. My profit was 62. Quick. And I took great care. When a woman came in, she said, we don't got to do nothing at all. They ready to get this top shelf. I said, that's to say I could have been left. But that's what happens with the greatest of us. That's what happens. We get something and now we want to move and we want to be the exception, the token dude.
Yep.
Him. I want to live where y'all live because I want to do what y'all do. And then I hope we get to my brother Michael King because that's the mentality that he created. Him. His birthday was just the other day. Martin Luther King Jr. created that mentality. I want to sit with you so bad, boss. I'll sit right here while you spit on me. And you train me to not. You train me against my own nature.
Yep.
My nature says if you hit me, hit you back.
Yeah.
If you spit on me, spit back on you.
On,
There's no in between with that. It's natural.
No water from the water hose?
No. If you water hose me, I'm gonna cut your water hoses next time. There's something that has to happen. So I said that to say when I decided to anchor down in my community, buy property in my community, buy the lots. Like I heard people always say, if you start taking care of a lot and doing little stuff, you can go to the owner and show them the receipt. And they had to give it a lot. I'm like, that ain't real. But I tried it. Right? I started cleaning up this dude's lot. I looked him up. I went to his house. Yeah. Bro, that lot's next to my house. It's blight. You're not doing nothing with it. I ain't selling it. Bro, that lot's next to my property. I ain't selling it. Then I turned it up a little bit. Bro, that lot's next that lot next to my house. And you know what? On second thought, bam, now I got the house and 2 lots. That's for the future. That ain't for now. But that's the type of stuff when I say I was showing them and I put this thing together and I asked people in my community, everybody come in with 5 or 10,000. And I'm about to get us a bunch of, cause I had a thing called Harding Street Development Group. They don't understand. I went to business school when I was incarcerated. I came home and I was applying it. And I know what I did. I went and found my funds. I went and found everything I needed. All I wanted to do was include some of my people and redevelop my whole neighborhood because I had the people who was going to back my play. Come on with 10. Come on with 10. Come on with 10. We do this. I'm going to go get one lady. Shout out to her. I ain't going to say her name because I want to keep her as anonymous as I can because I don't think they know we as close as we are. Yeah. She's like a real friend of mine. Yeah. She's told her boyfriend at the time, who was about to be her husband, shout out to him, and I seen that ring, big dog. ROI will be coming your way. Just trust me. Wait on it. It's coming. Yeah. But she bought me 10, 5 from her, 5 from him. She said, this dude right here, he the real deal. He don't know me. He's a dude from way on the other side of town. She said, he the real deal. So to bring your man to another man and tell your man to give a man $5,000, that's his ego had to be in check. She had to really believe in it, but she did, and she gave me 10, and I went and got us $110,000 worth of properties. But at the time, I told whoever bring me the money, that's how much of a percentage of this that you own. So at the end of the day, she's already 10% just because she did that. But this is what I told her: you don't have to worry about the upkeep, the maintenance. I'm gonna keep the people in it. I'm gonna do all of it. You just chill. Like I was gonna tell everybody else, just relax. Every blue moon she called me because she see I remodeled it from top to bottom, gutted it right. The whole house is done. I see you. I know, be cool. We ain't out, and that's what now. The people in my own community ran that away. You ran this type of businessman away. You let this type of person who's selfless get away. The whole time I've been dealing with y'all, I've been selfless because, hey, I want this to work as much for you as I want it for me. That's the only way to be. If you a God man, you would know that when you meet a man, like, oh, he ain't all for self. No. Right. This brother right here, I go to him and I got great ideas. He is own man, but every single time I get a new opportunity, what's the first thing I do? Bro, we need to pull up. I'm about to smoke one with you. Mm-hmm. Hey, this boy just gave me this contract. I got a 6-figure contract. And he's like, man, he ain't never mad. Boy, man, I'm so happy for you. Come on, go with me, bro. I got to do it my way, Zoo. And I leave. I'll be so mad. I call my wife, like, I want to fight him. Because I love him enough because I know him. I know what but guess what? He got to do it his own way. And that's what she always tell me, Trey, one of the best friends you got. because he cared about you in ways small, and your wife will know that.
Yes.
Little small ways.
Yes.
He don't have an ego.
Yes.
This one thing he do got an ego
Yes.
about. Shout out to Trey. If I say this cup is black and white, he gonna say, no, it ain't. It's white and black. He got to take the but guess what? We have some of the greatest debates in the basement that you ever seen. But that's the type of people I would rather be around. You can see me at my high, at my great. You see me move here. I stayed in his bedroom 30 days. I left my family up top. Hardest thing I ever done. But I wanted to come and see if this opportunity I had here was real, and I didn't want to drag them on one of my experiments. So I left them there. I went in his room. I didn't even get a TV. He kept saying, the TV works too. I don't need a TV. I'm studying this computer because I need to learn this skill set because I cannot be away from her for this long. He killing me, hurting me bad. When I got done, I said, baby, I got enough checks now. Quick. I got checks. You hear me? And I need you to get the U-Haul. Daddy on the way.
Yeah.
I got on the airplane, flew home. My sisters, brothers, my youth, all of them, free trip to Florida. We packed up these U-Haul and we had a caravan. They was my dogs, you name it, it was in the U-Haul. We got down here, we stayed in an apartment. It was rough in Orlando. I mean, rough in Orlando, hard. But guess what? We loved
We had just came from
living high.
our highest peak of what, like right pre-pandemic, because I had career.
Okay.
He had career.
Okay.
So pre-pandemic, he's on his stuff. I'm on my stuff. Pandemic hits, everything shut down. I'm like, okay, this is like my championship. You're about to come. I'm about to, like,
Yeah.
But it didn't work. Like, as a mother, I still had a kid in school. I'm like, no, like, I got plans. I crossed my T's. I dotted my I's. Like, no. So it took a lot on me so that I just made a decision. Okay, I'm going to help my daughter and I'm going to help Shane. And we came to this agreement. He's like, you do this, you do this. Come on in. So I ended up doing it. And then as soon as I did, it was like during the pandemic when everybody was going different careers, moving, doing different stuff. We rise up. We helping everybody around us. Well, of course, it looks like to everybody, and I will speak on that. That's what everything came, like the funding. He getting all this money, he doing this with these kids, he doing this. We took care of 15 kids a night, but during that day, 40 to 50 children a day.
Every day.
Those are teenagers. They're not including little kids. People is dropping off. You feel what I'm saying?
We got special needs kids. Isaac.
Yeah.
Boy, non-functional. Mr. Shephard, he wants to be around me, and his mama gonna drop him off every Friday.
They eat good food.
Without no snacks.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, good food. They drink all day, candy wrapper stuff all over. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can go into a whole nother, just the experiment of the whole thing. But so we at our peak, and we having fun. You know, it's a lot of work, no days off. We work every Saturday, every Sunday. We work every holiday because kids don't go home. We thought they would. The staff, like, I need to go home and take some time to yourself. How? We can't. So all of that, every morning, he waking up, taking home people to work. He picking them up from, you don't see the behind the scenes. It's from the time we wake up in the morning to the time we don't go to sleep hardly because in the middle of the night when we go to sleep, guess what? Fire alarm is going off. Somebody gets to a fight. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? All the time, it's all these things that people are like, well, he's taking the money. Well, guess what? He wrote the grant. I don't even know how to write a grant. Excuse me.
Here's the thing about that. When God shows you your vision, he doesn't show your vision to everybody.
Yes.
So the plan, people are not going to understand it. I think we are in a society where everybody kind of loops finances and money into good deeds.
Or that's what blessings. That's what blessings.
Supposed to
money
be
is
monetary.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But it really isn't. If you have a passion for something and you truly are walking in purpose, you're going to give more of your time and more of yourself than finances that you'll ever get.
So the more the money, the more the time. So it's like that's how it was. So we ended up at our peak, like you said. So we just enjoying this. Is what I've been wanting for because that's really his career base. So now you finally getting funding for what you're really passionate about. So we're having a good time, and then we make the decision, and then we move, we go back to where he say he's gone. He's in the back room for 30 days. We come to Orlando, and it's rough, and so it's like, okay, man, what you do here? Why you have us like you put me up to slam me down? And all this stuff and all these people saying all these things. Show them the truth. Show them, right? Show them. No, because God worked out. He worked. And he did, and I just would get upset, and I'm just like, all these people saying stuff like, and I want to say something, but I didn't, and I'm just quiet because it's going to all play out.
But that was all part of God's plan.
Yep.
You have to endure everything that is coming to you. So then when it's on the other side of it, no one can say, I did this for Shane or I did this for Ryan. God gets all the glory.
And that's how we discovered what was going on. Because it wasn't terrible. The weather was beautiful. We're not used to some of the bugs that they have here in Florida that it just comes with the territory. Yeah, I don't care what. I'm gonna just give you an example.
Snakes,
So
frogs,
they got roaches. No joke. They got roaches this big, like this big.
Yes.
And it looked just like the regular roach. He just on steroids. And he ain't scared. He ain't running. He's there. So
you know, where from you think you consider
if you see a roach, well, north, it's like, oh, you trifling.
Nobody knows.
Here, they don't even call them roach. They call them a palmetto bug.
Oh, yeah, something bug.
I said, oh, that's what y'all call it? That's where I'm from. That is a roach. Right? You can call it. You got a special code name. Like, that's a roach. You can call it what you want, but that is a roach. Where we from is an indicator of two things. Dirty, poverty, and trifling. So even poverty, you can be poor and not even have them, but a lot of times they in that environment. We go to this place, gated community, no joke. Gate, when you come in, you gotta have a code. Beautiful. They got sauna in the office, theater. I mean, you name it. When you walk in the office, they got lemonade, cookies. Beautiful. I saw that amenities is great. Boy, these palmetto bugs popped out on us. Eat. I said, baby, we got a problem. And she's so scared, and then my daughter's so scared, and I'm already inside the lease.
Oh, wow.
All that work I just did to make this happen, y'all gonna ruin it with bugs. But this was the funny part. Shout out to my partner. You gonna know who you are. I was in his house prior to moving here playing a game, and he had palmetto bugs up north, right? And you know me, I'm a comedian. When one would pop out, you know, everybody roll out like they don't see it. I jump up, make it. I said, boy, you can't walk up through here and you see her. So my wife, we said, boy, you are a nut. I laughed and laughed and laughed. Got here? What?
I was so mad.
Why you laughing? Guys, we want to see what you laughed at them. But long story short, that was part of the test. Let me see what you're going to do. Are you going to complain? Are you going to cry? We never did. And then we went out into the market looking for how we went to this couple's vision board party. Put this vision board together. Said by the end of 2023, we're going to be in position to buy a house. And do this, and we had a plan, and we put these things. I put fishing on there. My daddy was a bass fisherman in his imagination. He never really did it. Yeah. I said, I'm going to accomplish it. I'm going to be a bass fisherman. I'm going to learn to catch bass. This is what I'm doing. This was in December, January, February, March. We done closed on a house bigger than I ever owned. In a neighborhood where when you look at it, you like, dude, you can see water. Beautiful. It shimmers, the sun, the palm. I'm like, I can have that, y'all, for how much money I got, for what I've been through. Yeah. And I only been here for this long. There's people in here that ain't forever. Can't buy one and been here. Right. You gave me that in one calendar year. Yeah. And I asked for one thing when I asked him specifics, and I'm very specific now. I said, I need a palm tree, Lord. I need that. That'll make me know I'm a Floridian if you give me that. It ain't a palm tree nowhere around this place, but there's one little goofy one sitting on the side of my house. And that's how I knew that was me. So I said all this to say I was so angry when you stripped me of my ability to provide for my community. Not for me, because I'm a hustler. I've never been poor. Notice I told you my grandma was cool, and then by the time he got poor, I got the hustling. I've never been without. At this point in my life, I'm like, so I really just accomplished this? And I was mad about that. So this was part of your plan, and then you forget how strong your words are. The law of attraction, prayer, whichever language you speak. I told him this 5 or 6 years ago. I'm going to go home for 5 years. I'm going to get off federal probation. I'm going to make sure I got the right image. And he kept telling me 9 years ago, he said, you don't want to come down here. He uses the C word in the South. I'm not going to say it. Crack. Like if you go eat some chili, put some crackers in it. Yeah. He said, you don't want to come here, eat no chili, put no crackers. They will lock you up. Yeah. And you will never go home. Type of history you have, boy, you will be done for. So don't come here because this is different. This is pretty and it's nice. I know you like it, but this is the South. And I want you to respect the South, G. I said, cool. You sure I can? I know who you are. Don't come if you're not.
Mentally
because they catch you, you're done for. So
So I had a couple of follow-up questions that I want to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you're a very spiritual person.
Mhm.
I want to know, how did your grandmother, was she spiritual or religious, and how
Religious
did that
and spiritual.
influence you?
Absolutely. Well, she went to a church on the corner of 22nd and College. Grace Apostolic Church. It still stands to this day. It was instrumental in my development. And the pastor and leader of it was none other than Bishop Morris Egoder. He's transitioned on. But the most honorable Black pastor, bishop I've ever met. Still to this day, it's hard to hold a candle to him and the type of legacy that he left behind, right? But my grandmother was faithful in church. She got saved the same year I was born. So she was 35, so that would have been 78. And so at the time, she was, when you first get a hold of something.
We're not going to just go past that.
Well,
like you said, your grandmother was 35 when you were how old?
No. She was 35 in 78 when I was born.
Okay.
That's
Oh.
At her age.
Oh, okay.
We're past that.
Yeah, so we
when people hear grandmother,
right.
you believe that it might be somebody 50 years old.
No.
She's
Oh, yeah.
35.
See, that's so normal. But even back then, my grandmother, I think she had my father when she was 16. And he turned around and had me
So
when
you
she
didn't
was...
catch it either.
No. Right. When she was 16, and then he turned around and had me when he was 18. So they put her right about 35. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then my kid, but I told her, spoke it out of my mouth. I said, Grandma, I had my first baby when I'm about 13. She's like, what? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You better not say it again. And lo and behold, somebody came to my grandma when they 13, like, I think your grandson done hunched up. But not luckily, but it just didn't manifest. The baby, she lost the baby, blah, blah, blah. But my first two children were born in the same year. I was 16 years old. 16, at the beginning of my 16th year, I had one. By the time in the end, before I turned 17, I had another one.
So grandmother was really your mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And she, like, one of the things that she did that I recommend people do this is she made me read the Bible. And so she would go in there and say, what? And not just as soon as you catch you doing something bad, she would wait till later in the day. You know what's in there? He needs some Bible time. Excuse me. She said, come back in here, you better recite me a scripture. So me, I'm going there, I'm going to find the shortest one. Jesus wept. And that's still a funny thing between me and her, because she said, you better quote one. You hear me? I wouldn't have found that demonstration. I know it's in here somewhere. Yep, Jesus wept. And it was funny, but Dad, you had to go through a lot to find it. But those are the type of skills and learning how to Bible, just basics, learning how to set up. What's this? What's the Torah? Old Testament. What's a prophet? What do that mean? Yeah. When they say, thus saith the Lord, that make it different now, Dad. That means God talking. So these are seeds that now when I get in those dismal crypts called penitentiary by myself, and you don't do nothing but shove a Bible under my door, I know how to read it. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to give me a little Psalms in me. I'm going to go to get some I know my way around it. So I shout out to her and the early church for having structure, and I seen good men. Elder Macmillan was a guy, he just sticks out to me in my brain when I was young. And his role was not the alpha, it was the beta. A lot of men don't respect the beta. I respect betas. Yeah. I'm an alpha. Yeah. I usually have a beta. You see all my betas, all my dudes, my mans and them, all of them strung out on drugs right now to this day, opioids and the whole shebang. But Asher, we talk on the phone like you still up, we still on the same level. Yeah. And one of them, he doing worse than anybody. He'd call me, bro, let me get $20. I say, bro, look where we at. No, I refuse, because you got some responsibilities. We ain't that friendly because you got a job to do. But I said all that to say, I learned from my grandmother's, not only the teachings, the way I watched how you was. You was a giver. We didn't have to have a lot. You gonna make a pot of chili for the lady across the street. I'm about to send Shane over there. Dad, come on, I'm here playing the game. What? Take this chili to Miss Loretta. Why? She's sick, or her people ain't came over and checked on her. Man, I ain't got time to go. So you plant this in me early, just giving, helping, being a
nurturer.
Like, right.
You look for that in your mate.
She know my feminine principle. My grandmother like a tag out feminine principle. Like if I get one and think I got me a feminine principle, give me the envelope, grandma. Got it. Here. And my grandma just be waiting in the wings. Like, that ain't gonna work. I know you're not gonna. That's not what you're looking for. Yeah. And then it just passes on. But this right here, and I'm not gonna act as if though I knew as soon as I seen her, as soon as I met her, this was it. I am a tester. One time I gave her like $8,000 or $9,000 cash. Here, just hold this, and that's every dollar I got at the time, every buck. But I want to see what you'll do. If that makes you, that flatter you, do that make you all giddy?
Yeah.
Do it make you take one $20 bill and remix the money?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be surprised what that do. Oh, you'll be surprised. Oh,
I needed $20.
I'm not even crazy. I'm like, why do you just give people your stuff?
I
You
don't give it to
trust
people.
And he's like,
Cause I know what I'm finna do with you, but I want to just make sure
Test.
you're not with me for the wrong reasons. You have the wrong ideas.
Yeah.
Being passing that test and then flipping to my feminine principle. When I got opportunity to take care of my grandma, I do. I go. I'm talking about that Swan truck that pull up and deliver meals. Yeah, Granny on Swan auto pay, stuff like that. I'm gonna do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Once I realized the quality of woman that I had, she was a beautician and not just a regular one. She got her own clientele. Her clientele ain't Shaquita and them from the Far East. Her clientele was professors and these type of people that come from schools, teachers. A lot of people come from out of town because her mentor was an exotic person in the hair industry. I think she did like Madonna's hair or something. I threw her out there. Oh, she ain't mad. Madonna came to town one time. Her mentor does so. This type of you know what you're doing. If I'm going to tell you, hey, the pandemic helped me because it crippled her for a little while, made it where you're not allowed to do certain stuff in your industry. Cool, but this is what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to do none of that because I'm going to figure out how to make sure I can take care of me, you, and everything that we both love. I'm going to figure it out. And when I married her, and let me say this, she met me, I was the trash man. See, I worked for the city of Indianapolis, jumping off the trash truck, and she would be a person that would pull up and say, you ate? Nah, but I'm so glad to see a good face, man. How you doing? What you doing? I'm over here at the class over here on 10th Street. What you studying? Or they got this free seminar about credit or whatever, or housing or whatever. And I'd be like, damn, she's different than these little chicks that be pulling up on me, man. You trying to be something, shorty. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is, but I like it. I like that you don't see me like everybody else. And I'll say this, as far as Arthur, nobody knows me better. I don't think I have a bigger fan. As far as literature, she's a real reader. And it ain't just because I'm her husband. Like literally before any of this, she was telling me like, bro, you like a really dope author. So to have a person like that and then you see it like, I'm keeping that, man. Come on in here.
Y'all both sapiosexual. You know that was something that.
Yes.
And so that's what my wife because
he used that word
because people like tangent. So people think it's all about looks, right? Which she's beautiful, right? So, but it's like
her, yours, both.
Huh?
Okay, no,
but like for myself, because it took me a while to understand it. I'm just like, I'm attracted to intelligence.
Yep.
And what's intelligent is attractive, right? It's just the energy. And when you meet certain people like that, you like, so, and I can see that already. Yeah. And so that shout out to that because a lot of people don't even know that term exists. They don't know what that means.
If you was in my house the other day, I told her about these books that I had that I wanted to see. I looked them up, and then when she know I like really got excited, I look up, packages start coming. The other day, I got this big $200 Shephard Bible. Like I've been wanting this since my last birthday. And I could have bought it. Yeah. But I don't want to buy it. I wanted to come from her and my son. Yeah. So I will make myself because what do you get a person that got everything? Right. Exactly. She's really good at that. Yeah. So the other day I see this big old package. I'm like, I think I know what that is. It's like a Christmas moment. Yeah. Kid. Is it? I got the chills. I'm thinking, God, like, bro, you about to do something big with me this year. Because look what you know what I'm saying? And those type of moments, I think nobody, you couldn't see them. And we don't, like, if I go through my phone, I want to tell somebody, y'all want to do challenges? Let's go non-posted picture challenge. I beat you every time.
I want that.
That also comes from knowing each other's love language and also being intentional with each other.
No doubt.
So I do want to follow up. You guys said it was kind of rough transitioning from Indianapolis and moving to Florida, but I do believe that elevation sometimes requires separation. And then when God reorganizes and restructured, right, and you continue to grow, and He has to strip you of what you had in the past in order to kind of rebuild you. And for you, I would just definitely say in the Bible, who was it? They had to leave their homeland, right, in order for them to transition to a new land so that they can get what they needed for them to be prosperous.
Well, the children of Israel, I start off with them. Yasharel, shout out to the Most High. They remind us of current days. If I can just make that quick touch.
Go ahead.
Back then, you had a Pharaoh, and he was the king. And back then, if he was the Pharaoh, he was considered the God. And so when the children of Israel were in the condition they were in, the Pharaohs had switched orders. So it wasn't the Pharaohs of old. It wasn't the original pharaohs who knew Joseph and who Joseph had rose up to be second in command. It wasn't that guy. The Hyksos had came in and switched over. So now this is a new government. Now here's where I connect them. The government is not treating you right because he don't really respect or recognize you as a citizen. Who is you? You're not an Egyptian.
Bloodline or lineage.
Either one. You're not even a citizen because you don't have the type of educational values and you don't have the type of skill sets that we have. You're the slaves. You're the slave caste. Here come Moses. Hey, man, listen, man, we ready to go this way because blah, blah, blah. Now, the good thing about them is they at least had Moses to tell them, hey, man, you're not getting what you need to be getting out of this situation. So let's just go. The wilderness is better than this. I don't even know what's out there, but I know it's going to be better than what's right here. So they transition, like you said, from A to B. And it took them 40 years. And when you go look at the map, it should only take you like 7 days to walk from where they went to where they ended up. How'd it take you 40-something years to get there? Because,
disobedience.
man, what's my man?
Disobedience.
And you're not going to go there until, and what do I call this place we in? Swear. And I know this to be true.
I'm just getting chills right now. My father has always told us, my parents are still married, but he's always told his children that obedience is better than sacrifice. And some people don't know what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So part of our 2022 goals, I think, was the top 3 things was like obedience, sacrifice, and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
This was like why we the whole year we
While
was
we going through it.
in the apartment because in the
We got
apartment
posted where we could see them.
in the apartment, and now we finally made it to the promised land. This ain't what we
Right.
in a foreign land, right? No, but before we was in the wilderness. So from Indianapolis, we come pre-pandemic. We had to do another show. We come pre-pandemic, and
Ooh.
everybody that had money
Had already came
at
and
the
bumped it,
same
so my
time.
bag wasn't big enough.
So, yeah, at the same time. So the
That's
market
supply
was
and demand.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Supply
the
and
market
demand.
was crazy. It was crazy. So we're trying to $1,000 a week just to live down. You know what I'm saying? In a hotel room or whatever. So we like boom.
I think we stayed for like 60 days trying to look for the first time we came. We stayed extended stay. Well, she stayed actually longer than I did because that's so long. You know me, I'm the man. We don't about to keep doing this. I got some family in Detroit. I'm about to call and get a crib because I'm already fit my brain national. We're not gonna stay local.
Yeah.
I went up there and got us a crib. She stayed behind
In Florida.
in Florida.
So Indiana.
Then I got us a
Florida.
crib. Boom, there we
Then we
go.
moved to Detroit, right? I'm pregnant. We about to have a wedding. All this stuff is going on. It's the pandemic, right? We go up to Detroit, go to Evansville, go back to Indianapolis because we got businesses, we got family. We're just trying to tie stuff up. And though we want to go, it's still things that have to logistics that have to take place. It's still other things to take place. So why everybody else, we working. Yeah, we working.
Training ground.
We working, right? So
And
that was the
chatter
wilderness.
slow us down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so that was the
You know what I'm saying?
wilderness.
Focus, yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
wilderness. We come home here, and then to us, we feel like this
It
is
opened
the
up.
promised
I
land.
swear,
And
it just like
to the point. Sometimes we had to have conversations. Some days, like,
oh, what's the analogy about the flipping and landing?
oh.
This is something I want to teach people.
So the whole time we in the apartment, everybody, people that know us, that stood by us. Some people didn't. If you chose a side, whatever, however, but the people that knew us and stood by us, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm glad y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all see y'all doing good. You're like, hey, no, not yet. I got to stick the landing. Because I'm still in the air doing the flips. I'm still doing the tricks. Yeah, y'all see me. I'm still doing the tricks. But if I don't fall right, if I don't land right, all of that never mattered.
Right.
So that was.
And the teaching of it, I tell people, if you watch gymnastics, you watch a little floor routine.
Yeah.
Give them about 2 minutes or so, right?
Yeah.
She killing it in the floor routine.
Yeah.
Double tucks, no layouts. I'm talking about she's everywhere she need to be.
Yeah.
But it all boils down to the last 5 seconds of that.
Landing.
She even goes over there and gets ready in her brain. Here it is.
Yeah.
So whatever just happened,
Yeah.
I can either kill it
Yeah.
or fix it. She go boop, 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 and she stick that landing. And even everybody in the audience know, don't clap until we know where them heels is at.
Yeah.
How did she bounce? And
Yeah.
then, so I had done so many flips and tricks, and everybody liked it. Like, oh, that thing's cold. Can't stop. How? Hey, he down and out. No, he ain't. He's flipping and flopping. I flipped here, and then this is where everybody come to 3-4 times a year when you can afford it. I was already coming here 3-4 times a year because I needed a sabbatical a lot of times. I needed to come here with him. I put him on. He was working before you followed Big Homies of America in Florida years ago. Got pictures to show you, like 2018. I already bought him his books. already bought him his books, bought him his shirts. We go to speaking engagement. We was going into the juvenile down here, but this ain't nothing I put on the book because I'm already gonna plant my seeds. So when I get here, so by the time I get through doing all the flipping and flopping, I tell my baby, I said, watch this. If I can pull this off, I can put $27,000 to the side by this
That was
month.
27,000 the pivotal number.
That's how much money I had to put down on that house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people go with 20.
Yeah, because you can.
27.
I can get it here right now, and I don't got a marble, and the furnace go out, boy. Or you know what I mean? Like I'm that because that's what my mentor told me. Rent, make them responsible. Only make you.
Yes.
So I did all the flips.
Yes.
I got all together.
Yes.
Cars is paid. Everything is good, but I gotta stick this landing, and that don't mean when I say that amount of money. That's because I know what I need to do. I know how many people and things I'm responsible for. I can't be close to the edge, never. Because if I fall off, there's nobody to help us up. I've taken the responsibility as him, and I'm glorying that. You know what I mean?
We have a couple more questions before we switch our topics. So I just want to ask you: do you feel like you were raised in survival mode, or you were raised in love mode? Because it looks totally different from a teenager or youth or a kid.
Survival mode, 100%.
Okay.
And I'm again, I'm out of survival mode. But like she said, my nickname. I got two nicknames: fourth quarter shorty. I show up when it's important when the game is out the gate.
Mike Jordan,
top shelf shorty. We go somewhere. I don't give wherever we go. We walk in. People start asking questions about differences. No. Excuse me. Which one the best? Let's get that. Or I like that ring. Oh no, that's a bank. What's the best? Let me get that. I deserve that because I was deprived for so long of that which you speak of, love. So sometimes my love is I just want to have the best experiences. I want to have the best. If I like something, I don't want the average one. I want the best one. That's the type of mentality that young men allow that hunger and that growl in you. Let it push you to become better. Because at the same time, prior to me letting it push me to be better, I let it make me be worse. You can't have nothing if I don't get some of that. Okay. And I meant that when this is a past moment. If you sell dope and I know you not cut like that, and you don't deserve to be eaten like that, and I can look around and see your squad ain't really built like that, I'm gonna come and get some of that. Mm-hmm. Period. And most of the time, it don't even. Not even most of the time. I've never even had to punch somebody if I took something from them in the street because I'm smart. And by the time I do, like checkmate you, it's like, dang, bro, you really want to keep my stuff? Yeah. Yeah. So
I got a question though. You talked about things that you learned from. In the book, you talked about prison being locked away was one of the best things that happened to you.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about and expound on why you mentioned that?
First of all, the Feds is an international college for criminals. International. So you got the worst of the worst from each city that's been put into one box. So now we're gonna know who you really are. So you can't hide in the Fed state. You can go, I'm with Gary. Yeah. I'm with Indianapolis. Yeah. I'm with Evansville.
In the county, right?
Yeah, the Feds.
Right. Yeah.
This is international.
Yeah.
Everybody here. So now you about to first plug in with you. If you do plug in, you're not plugging in locally. You plugging in with the state.
Leavenworth.
He might be from the Florida core.
Yeah.
That means you got to deal with people from Jacksonville all the way to Miami.
Yeah.
From the Panhandle all the way to that's that. Then not only that, out of that, you're gonna stick out even amongst that. So the Feds being a great experience was you go into this place and you can say, bro, what's your case? I got caught for bringing up 400 bricks over here. He's a normal, everyday, laughable guy, probably can't fight that good.
Yeah.
Looks up to me because I'm brolic and I'm GD and I'm in the gang. He willing to, I'm like, man, this is the plug. This is it.
Yeah.
Or I can not put his number in my book and go over and meet the OG that's a Moore Science Temple of America. He got a library of books in his room. And I sit at his feet for a while. And I can learn, like, dang, they got Egyptian schools of mysticism and different thoughts. And what? So it's more stuff than the Bible? Get out of here. They got to contradict the Bible. No, actually, it don't. All you do is open your mouth. Whoa. In there, you grow up. You're not over-sexualized. If you're a straight man, you won't have no sex, but you're not wasting all your kinetic energies, just pushing it out into the universe for nothing. Mm-hmm. You intaking 3 meals a day. You exercising actively. You're thinking of stuff. You writing letters to people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can actually grow in this mud spot called this environment. Yeah, if you work the situation how you work the situation. So I actually became a better version of myself during those 12 years. The thing that I hate, and I hope one day they get to catch this and listen, is my 2 children, my oldest 2 children. I lost my relationship with them based on that 12 years because they weren't even 12 years old when I got locked up. So to do more than half your life in the penitentiary, then come home and don't have the ability to, I don't know you like that no more. We don't have that type of bond like we used to have. So it cost me a lot. So it's an up and down situation with that.
One of the things you mentioned in the book also was that because I love this insight, you call young men, you don't call them boys.
Nah, I try not to.
Why? Can you talk about why not?
Well, if a white man call you a boy, what you gonna feel?
It's derogatory.
Yes.
So what's the difference? If I call you a boy, it's the same thing. It means it got the same disrespectful type. I walk up to you and say, boy, you gonna check me before we even get boy.
Yeah.
So there's some disrespect there.
Energy, yes.
So why would I condition you to be used to being called something that somebody stole from us? That's like, nigga, I drop it in the heartbeat because it's part of. That's the same concept. Somebody stole a word from that meant color.
Yeah.
Like the Niger is a place. They have all these different things. Negro means black, and that's what the Spanish people who took us and sold us and did all these things with us. Them the Negro people. So these people over here, you can't say it Negro because you from Backwood Mountain, Mississippi. So now Negro and now nigga, you can't even say it up because you nigga. Now I'm a nigga, you a nigga, we some niggas, would you like to be a nigga too? So I don't want to raise my young man. I call them underdeveloped men because a seed of God, every single thing that's in that seed has the full propensity to grow to be that. So I'd rather look at you in your future development than insult you with your current stage of metamorphosis, so to speak. If I look at a grown woman, little girl, you're like, hold it, nigga. I was a little girl when I used to, you know what I'm saying? Like when I
was wearing pigtails.
Right, or I said, they said, like, pissy patty. Little girl is pee on it. That's a little girl. I'm a full grown woman, so this is disrespect level. So I try to pride my men on saying, young men, don't let nobody call you boy. And if it's your mama, you can't check her, but you just say, mom, boy back then, or if a man call you boy, I don't even want to get used to saying.
Camera.
Oh, boom! Is that what looking at me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't. If I'm a boy, I don't want my mama to even call me boy because I would much rather say, mom, check this out. No disrespect, but I'm gonna be a man one day as far as in your definition of it. So allow me now the privilege and respect to earn such titles. Now, young boys, I'm gonna use that, who's being called that, grow into manhood fast. And I ain't talking about physically or mentally. Wherever you at on your stage, whatever you're responsible for, do that. If your only job in the house is to grades and trash, be the best trash man in your household because you're the only one, and have the best grades that your parents could expect. That's your job as a little man at that time. So I don't like boys.
We also have topics around Martin King yesterday.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I want to follow up with you just because I know you guys talked about the federal prison system. I just wanted to ask you, what are some of the events that led you to being incarcerated federally? And was it age 15 or 16? What happened to get you to the level where you went? Did you go to state first?
I did.
Okay. So can you just elaborate, talk to us a little bit about that?
So I started off in juvenile. I stole something from President Safeway up on 30th and Kessler.
Okay.
Got caught. They gave me a choice. They told my grandmother, my auntie, come and get him. Grandma, don't lock him up. Auntie saying take him. And I still don't know which would have been a better choice, but they didn't take me. My grandma gave me a shot. So you know what that means.
I'm gonna do it again.
What? I'm killing them. Cooking them dead at President Safeway. My grandma gave me $30. Go there and get this list. I'm stealing at least 28 hours of it. I'm coming through with the can of the meal not cream. Yep, it's all. Been here for 30 minutes. Yep, got some cream. I'm not a sophisticated criminal, juvenile. Then I start stealing cars because now I want to go across town because I want to see this chick. I'm fast. I've been a fast guy my whole life. I want to see her. I live on Arlington. I'll be out there. If you make it out here, my mama got season tickets to the Braves game. Anytime you know it's a home game, come out here at 6 o'clock. You in here. What? I'm looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
Steal me a car. Wow. End up in boys' school.
Mm-hmm.
Boys' school, you get out. I went to a few group homes in between there, but I went to the state joint. First, I went to the state joint for robbery and dealing of cocaine. You ran them together. Class B robbery, Class B dealing, 10 suspend 4, 6 do 3. This back under old law. I go for 3.5, messed up a little bit, got a couple fights, jacked out 6 months, came home 3.5 years. When I got home in 3.5 years, that would have been 2001. And then I skipped over her to 2000. My sister was murdered in 2000, which was Keisha. You can bring it back to the table if you want to. I can just cover it real quick. I'll wait.
Okay. Yes, I want to hear about Keisha, but I also want to hear about your friend who was shot, and then you were shot as well. Is that before?
Separate.
Yeah, was that before Keisha?
Oh, that was 97. All that whole year was 97.
Okay, so let's talk about.
Get there.
Yes.
All right, so my friend was murdered. His name is Eric. His name is Lil E. First time I ever seen somebody murdered. A lot of people say, I seen somebody get shot. I said, no.
Yeah.
I was this close. I watched somebody blow your face off and all this stuff. And you my friend. And you a little bitty person. So it blowed me. It put me on super hyper vigilant. I never let that happen to me. I wish I would. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly the emotion that it brought out of me. And I was now afraid because now I know what a bullet will do to a face.
Yeah.
So now you have trauma.
Yeah, real bad.
You have PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Followed by aggression
Mm-hmm.
and anger.
Absolutely.
Okay. And all of that wrapped into you
Yes.
at such an early
With
age.
intelligence.
Okay.
That's the dangerous part. See, a lot of these little dudes, if they first crime, they go to jail forever. Boom. Because you got the big heart. You got the anger, you got the trauma, you got all those other things that I had, but you lack probably some of the intelligence that I had. So by me mixing those two things, I became smart, sophisticated, early, real quick. Relationship with the police in the neighborhood at the time was like, when we see him, we're not gonna chase him every time. Because for one, he might not run. And if for two, we're gonna alert him that we're watching him. So they would like give me a big wide breath to just trap myself. And then once I put myself in one of them big nets, bam, and they send me back. So I ended up going. I got shot. He got murdered in April, March or April.
97 or 98?
97.
97.
And I got shot in August 97. I got shot in the back, in the buttocks, in the back of my leg. But from 97 until July 98, we went to 8 funerals of people all under the age of 25. That's when it started in our neighborhood. And I think it really started because I'm a really spiritual person. Now that I've grown up, some blood was spilled on our block at the hand of one of us, people that grew up together. And in the morning when everybody got up talking about it, it was like nobody else could have came over and done that.
Okay. Somebody
done that. And I believe that the same thing that happened with the Cain and Abel situation in the Bible, that blood he was a real, like a good guy. And I think that blood was just calling up from the soil. So God said, okay, cool.
Energy.
And it was like, bam, 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 bam. And then me years later, when I go back and I look, and it was 26 years from the time it happens, I'm a number 26th Street. I'm like, this could be the year that can break. Because I know we was cursed from that day.
I was going to just ask you, are you a person who talks about curses, a generational curses? Okay.
And I went to one of my brothers and I told him, I said, bro, this is what happened. And he thought about it. He never could really stand on it. But I said, I said it to one female, she agreed immediately. Like, yep, you're absolutely right. Because that's when that happened. And I just painted the picture for her. Look at the chain. You watch a movie like Final Destination, and you think, where did they come up with those concepts? No, these things.
Or the movie Crash.
Yeah, these things happen.
Interrelated or connected.
Everything.
Yeah.
And by going through that, now I'm nervous because the stuff that'll start happening on both sides. Now once you start that and somebody bleeds on the other side, or even on your side, sometimes there's no turning back. And some nights I will go home and I will wish, like, man, how did we get in this position where every time we go outside, I'm busting this hammer just because somebody saw me. We got on-site action. Like, when I see you, I'm gunning at you. This is all in the 90s. I'm blessed and grateful and thankful that I made it past August 97. But it got even muddier afterwards because now we are adults and these things been going on 4, 5, and 6. You went from teenagers to adults. You getting out of prison now. Every time somebody get out, he's the go-to guy. Bigger, stronger. You probably wasn't even like that, but they ready to gas you. And so we have a revolving door of returning citizens, as well as we got young people that's coming up. So it just became the West Side of Indianapolis at one time like a cowboy. Like you would hear this sound. You might hear that.
So
like
when you say it became legendary, because if people were going in prison, coming out, the kids were hearing like what happened, even though they probably wasn't there when it happened.
Oh, no
but
doubt.
The story kept
it just keeps going
cycling.
on. all the people who could hate me, because I never beef with people my own age. Never. Everybody who could dislike me, you're a minimum of 50. Why don't you let it go, G? You're minimum of 50. But all y'all was 6 and 7 years older than me. Nobody in my age group, we not beefing. It's older people who was mad because how dare you, young boy, y'all raised me. You raised me. How dare you be mad that that's like I told my wife about my grandmother one time. I said my grandma didn't know the type of man she was raising. Because now that I'm fully developed man, she don't want to take, like, she don't want to let me lead the squad. She don't want me to let, she just like, you still, but not, you to them, you, but I said, she don't want to let me lead the squad. And that's what was going on there. Like I say, you will bump into your idols. And I think one of the rappers said, your idols become your rivals. It's real. It's so real because how dare you become big enough to, like, you smelling yourself, little dude, and you a full grown man out here with 2 straps and kids and a gang behind you. But how dare you ever, I ain't out the way yet. I'm still, and it's really like that out there. Me, I'm the opposite. I'm gonna hurry up and get out y'all way. Anybody, because I know what I'm gonna do. So I don't want no trouble with you. Please leave me alone because this is not what you, because it can't be normal out there. I would look at some people in that say they beefing with each other. Oh yeah, nah. Impossible. But if you would, we cannot coexist in the same time and space, period. So.
Thank you for sharing. Can you tell us about Keisha?
Yes.
Whew.
Okay. Right. Leading up to that, were you incarcerated before the situation with Keisha?
I was.
Okay.
I was.
Tell us about the incarceration, what led you there, and then tell us about Keisha.
So Keisha, if you read any book I got, if you ever been in my house in the 90s, any dog I had, they all been named after Keisha. Keisha. I was Keisha Crazy. It's my little sister. 3 years older than her. My father and her mother are sisters and brothers, and they like favorite siblings. So she's my cousin by biologics, but we was raised in grandma's house because Auntie at the time was on her Whitney Houston time, real pretty. She's at Piccadilly. If you from Indianapolis West Side, she's at the club. So you got a good babysitter, and grandma, your mama, your brother got his kid over here. She's here with us. So me and Keisha like this. Keisha is bright. Keisha was Beyonce of the 90s.
You always call it the bright. You called me a bright.
Yes.
I heard you call me that. Okay.
She was one of Beyonce of the 90s people before her time. She already had graduated high school. She played ball. She was winning star quests, pretty straight white teeth, very beautiful, strapped up from like 12 years old on. My little cousin just developed. She 15, the dude she handling 21, 22. Like who she was fast, ahead of her time is what happened. She ended up with some street dudes, and some street dudes got into some street stuff, and it ended up killing her and shot her boyfriend, and they shot her 9 times. She was 9 months pregnant. Her and the baby died. This wasn't regular in the city at the time. This was abnormal. It's normal now.
Yeah.
It was abnormal in the year 2000. So I ain't gonna say the whole city, but a big portion of the city came out. Girls were baptized at this funeral. Like it turned into a church service because of the type of person that was murdered. So me, I was like, man, they sacrificed cuz maybe some good gonna come out of this because look at all the people and I'm locked up watching this through pictures.
Oh wow.
So, my pain, it was ever present, but at the end of the day, I still gotta live here and I still gotta do what I gotta do and I still gotta make it out of here. My anger, I wanted to fight that day. When you get bad news in jail, what happens?
Oh, somebody
You usually hang the phone up, boop, and you go straight to whoever had played with you, whoever owed you $10, whoever sat in your seat. I'm just ready to just go smash you because now I don't have no excuse. That's how I felt when it happened with my little sister. But what's bad, it was money involved. Let me put that out there. Most of the time, I'm beefing with you, I can come and holler at you. If you don't like what I say, we can fight. If you don't like how that turned out, we can do whatever. These days, it's people like, I don't even want to go talk to you. I'm just gonna pay you because I know you're in poverty. You need this money, and it's a little bit of money. It ain't even enough to get you a lawyer. It just can't even get you commissary for a month. Or no, they might get you for a month. It won't get you commissary for 2 years. They usually offer people about $3,000-$4,000. If you really worth it, they really good, they might give you $5,000. But that's to kill somebody, to take somebody's life. And when that happens and you pass that money out and then byproduct is somebody's sister and infant child is murdered, you of your own accord should be like, bro, I gotta quit this stuff. I gotta get out the game, man, because that didn't go out that possible. Me, that's what would happen with me. If I made a mistake like that ever in my whole life, at that moment, I'm just repenting. I'm going to the gospel. I'm like, bro, listen, I'm done. Because that's not how that's supposed to go. That was the rules back then. Like, you don't bother women and children. When I saw that rule, like, violated it, and then it was applauded because of who violated the rule.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people are cool with the fame or if you got money.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a respecter of money.
Yeah.
If you got money, you almost can make any mistake you want at any time. And people, oh, see, that's what come with it. You can't make those type of mistakes just because you have money.
Yeah.
And I think that's what our city got a big problem with, our state. If you got the money, you can get away with stuff that other people can't get away with.
We've discussed on our podcast a lot that money doesn't make you a good person.
Not at
I think
all.
a lot of times here in the society that has been created specifically for us, we feel like if a person has money or they have fame, that they're a good person, and money doesn't make you a good person.
Now, money is to me, it's like a magnifying glass. Money is gonna show you who you are on a magnified level. Like, I'm gonna use Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne didn't have a childhood. Lil Wayne was on the baby, just kissed him on the lips, all type of stuff. Whatever went on. You my father figure, whatever.
Right.
You here with us, you 13,
Right.
you driving a Benz, you in the studio,
He didn't curse on his rap.
He
didn't
was
do
just
that.
he was trying to
He
be as
didn't
normal
do
as good. When he
Yep.
finally got grown, and now I can be me, he turned into a kid. His jeans got real skinny. He got on a skateboard.
Yep.
Like, you from New Orleans, bro. They busting big missiles down there. You this is what you wanted to be when you was little,
Yep.
but you couldn't.
Yep.
As soon as you got a chance, guess what you did? I'm ready to go be him. And guess what you did? You had a type. I like light skinned girls who never
Yep.
liked me.
Yep.
All your baby mamas look just alike.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get some money, we get to study you a little bit better because now you get to show, you get to manifest who you are.
Yep.
So I'm not a respecter of money. Go ahead.
Are you comfortable with talking about your charges that landed you in federal prison?
100%.
Okay. So I know we have a specific date. It was 2004. Okay.
Yes.
So in 2004, what would you say? What was the conviction? What landed you there? How much time did you serve? And when did you come home?
Okay, so in 2004, Russ McQuaid, shout out to Russ McQuaid, Fox 59's #1 anchor in Indianapolis, Indiana, as well as Channel 4. Check him out, Russ McQuaid. He hated me back then because he felt like I was getting away with a lot of stuff. He just like, you a scum on earth type. You get
Really?
to walk, yeah,
Really?
yeah. You get to walk around like you ain't done nothing, but I know you be doing stuff. That was his attitude.
But aren't we in a time where if someone does something wrong, there's forgiveness?
No, that's the concept. That's not real. So Russ was under the impression I was getting away with stuff, so he teamed up with IMPD, and they ended up sitting down doing an interview.
Who is IMPD?
Indianapolis Metro Police Department.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So they teamed up and they did this interview, and I'm like you said, I was sitting watching it because they promoted it like it's gonna be like this war between two neighborhoods, but it was just like a Shane Shepherd show.
What's the neighborhoods?
26th Street and 40th Street on the west side of Indianapolis. So acting like this was going to be a mutual, we're going to talk about what's going on in the community, but it wasn't. It was like, we're going to try to paint him to be the guy. And when you paint me to be the guy, you turn everybody on me, you turn everybody against me. Everybody want to do something to me because you made them think I'm responsible for everything.
So would you say they made you the monster in the closet?
They said it was urban terrorism. That's what it was called at the
Well,
time.
never heard of that.
Yeah,
Really?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Really?
That was a term.
Urban terrorism. So what does that encompass? Urban
Making people
terrorism.
afraid, making people nervous, making people like, when you say my name, I just have a candy man. You say my name, I'm coming to see you.
Yeah.
Is
So I'm saying, talk to
urban,
you.
is urban terrorism, is it associated with a specific person or culture or color? I want to be clear on
I think
what
it's
are the dynamics of
Yeah,
I
that.
can't really define it, but this is how I would say it was applied to me.
Mm.
We live in an urban environment,
Mm.
and you got them under terror. So
Mm.
however that terror is being impressed upon them, this is what's going on. So
Mm.
me, I just be considered like to myself, I'm a boogeyman. I want to scare you. I don't necessarily want to hurt you, but I definitely want you to know that I'm not playing. I'm not afraid to come in your yard and play if that's what you want to do. But I would rather us not do this. I didn't have brothers. I didn't have a father who could protect me. So I was, like I said, I'm extra aggressive. I can fight pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I know how to think. And people, a lot of times I got men behind me. That's what a lot of people, if I could have been all the people that they said I was, I'm a real beast. But I'm not. See, our neighborhood at the time, it was a lot of unity back then. If Trey get in the fight with you at the club and Trey come back to the hood, like, bro, I just got to do bumping with dude and them. Like, what? As soon as he say that, me and dude them into it. He ain't gotta say, when you see dude and them, you just made us aware that dude and them, he hit you where? Say that, I'm going home. Next time I'm in the mall, here go dude. I'm not calling Trey.
Yeah.
Trey,
Yeah.
here go dude.
Yeah.
He gonna say, what you call me for?
Yeah.
You ain't serious?
Yeah.
So I hear you say unity. What's the difference between unity and loyalty?
Unity means we can come together on one accord. Loyalty means we'll stay together on that accord. You can keep that. That's a quote. That's a good one.
I know what it means, but a lot of people don't.
No, and I would rather you. I don't even want you to love me because a lot of people that get molested, their loved one did it to them. Don't love me. Be
Loyal
loyal to
to
me.
me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you don't have to love me. 'Cause I might not even like your love language. It's not necessary. You don't have to like me. I told my wife when I don't like one of my kids, I don't say that's how I mean it. I love them. I don't like them. So I could either, if I just said I don't love them and I just like them, that's a problem.
Right.
I love them, but I don't like them.
Right.
I don't have to tolerate them. I have to talk to them. I do none of that. But and you said something earlier that really bothered me about forgiveness. That's a word that.
Oh, I play the devil's advocate, so I might say
Yeah,
anything.
no, but when I say bother me, no, because I didn't stop and say something about it. So no, please, I love it. When I say it bothered me, it's because here I am, a man who come from your community. Shout out to Miss Butler at Butler's Pizza. This woman seen something in me when I was like 10, 11 years old. Used to let me fold the pizza boxes so I could eat. Knowing things was rough in my house, this, that, and the third. I go to the penitentiary as an adult man. After all this stuff I've been through, and there's a reason why I became who I was. I just gave you some of those reasons.
Absolutely.
Right? You can say, well, that don't make no excuse. I'm not giving you excuses. I'm just
No.
giving you the facts on how I became who I was.
Yes.
You don't even have to like my facts.
Yes.
You don't have to respect my facts, but my facts are my facts. And everything that I say on this podcast is public information.
Yes.
I can bring you my documents from whatever I speak on. But my thing was, I've destroyed a community. If you call me an urban terrorist, I don't like that. You know why? Because Shane Shephard is a name that was given to me by my grandmother. You see, I use my VA. My New York, that was my grandmother gave me a name, right? So if my grandmother gave me a name and you attach a felony to it and you say I'm an urban terrorist, I laid in prison, I plan my comeback. I'm gonna fix that, man, because I don't preach, because that's not me. I've never been a bad guy. Like I said, I've taken stuff from people, but when you in the game, that's a part of it. That's almost like saying, ain't no dice in Monopoly. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Dice part of the game.
Yeah.
That is essentially why I asked you, do you feel like you were raised in survival mode or love? Because and I also believe that people do things out of necessity.
Right.
And oftentimes you see people in the community, if they had another outlet or a different choice, they would make a different decision.
But what's your options when you, again, like you said, if I'm 17 and I've been victimized by my circumstance to the degree where I had to see another person that I knew and liked murder another person that I know and like, and now my brain is all in a mush. But here's the worst part. You know who the worst person to face when that situation happens is your friend's parent. Oh my God. You talking about the hardest. Made me feel like I had murdered my own friend, because how you leave here with my son and then you come back without my son. Only thing that probably stopped her from spitting in my face is her other son was with us when we left and returned back with us. So he's a valid witness that I ain't had nothing to do with this. However, she went harder on me than she did her own kid, because even though he's a little bit older than me, in her brain, you the leader, dude. Yeah. You supposed to stop. I don't know what happened yet, but whatever happened, you was responsible. So that was one of the hardest walk. That was a long death walk to me, leaving off her porch after knowing that you feel like I failed you somehow, and I didn't have nothing to do with that. But you now shame me for being alive. You know how that made me? You like, I call you mom. I'm not gonna say her name because I don't know disrespect. Yeah. I should say her name was Rose. I say Mama Rose. That was what I called you, and you made me feel like I should have died. That would have been the right answer. So now I'm ostracized. I'm feeling alone. I don't know how to talk to nobody about this. I don't know how to go tell somebody, hey, I'm scared, man. You know why I'm scared? I saw my friend die today. It's okay to be scared right now, bro. You don't have to be like tough right now. You can come here and crack. Nobody offered me this. So guess what? I just bottled it up, smoke some more Sharon.
And expound on that, because in your book you talked about